President of India and President IIPA. The Honorable Vice President of India does not like introduction and he does not need any. So, just for his words of wisdom.
Honorable Union Minister and Chairman IIPA, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. He reflected, he is incidentally in this position. I am no better. I am here because of being Vice President. So we are in the same boat. And that has a great message. We will have to overstretch, to be in overdrive, to be impactful, and make it a very involved mission to make a big difference. Shri Tripathi ji, Director General IIPA, my congratulations to the awardees, my greetings to the distinguished members of the faculty and everyone present in the audience. They are very senior people. If I were to name, I run the risk of missing one, and that will not be appropriate. This is a great day, and Jayanti of Sardar Patel, the Iron Man. I was reflecting with the Honorable Minister that two important things happened. One, with respect to integration of states, and the other with respect to drafting of constitutional provisions. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Chairman of the Drafting Committee, declined to draft Article 370. Happily, that is no more in our Constitution. But we know what happened because of Article 370. Prime Minister, first Prime Minister of the country in early 60s, if I am not mistaken, 1963, कहा था घिसते घिसते घिस जाएगा. Article 370 ने देश को घिसा दिया. Fortunately, right step was taken under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Modi, and the article is no longer in the Indian Constitution, a temporary article as it was. The second is, all states integration was assigned to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel except Jammu and Kashmir. And we know the problems we faced. Fortunately, things are on track. There is global recognition. People for the first time have come to be exposed to what is Indian governance, what is democratic governance, what are the benefits. Those of you who are involved with law will not even be able to read Article 35 as it stood. It found place in Part 3 of the Constitution, fundamental rights, and it starts notwithstanding anything in this part. So there was this draconian provision which deprived people of that state for so long with fundamental right benefits. Friends, अमृत काल है, हम अमृत का लाभ ले रहे हैं. I have no hesitation in saying this Amrit Kal, which is seeing phenomenal rise of Bharat as never before, and the rise is unstoppable. It is our Gaurav Kal. And this Gaurav Kal has been fructified by Kartavya Kal. You would recollect, being in this important organization, there was a time when power corridors were infested with corrupt elements. There were power brokers who extra legally leveraged decision making. Power corridors have been fully sanitized of them. A big achievement. As the Honorable Minister was reflecting, the new norm is transparency, accountability, and achievement. I can tell you that G20 was a remarkable success from the perspective of one and all. But the point I am making is relatable to that. In G20, we had presence in every state and union territory. 200 meetings were held in this country at about 58 or 60 locations, as the Honorable Minister would know. Very successful, very impactful, with the involvement of central and state governments. I appeal to you. Your organization has to have impact in every state and union territory. The surest way to degenerate an institution is to keep it away from scrutiny and self-introspection. We have done something very great, I have no doubt about it. And the Honorable Minister would have been a formidable challenger to anyone if he were not to take to medical profession and become a lawyer. So after all that he has said, and after all that the director has indicated, मेरा मन कुछ और मांग रहा है. Time for us to audit. Have we fully exploited our potential? Have we been able to motivate every district magistrate? Have we been able to make our footfall in every part of this country? If you would recollect, my last address here, this was one of the fundamental points. Because the big change takes place at the district level. And the greatest impactful motivational force in a district is a district magistrate. People look up to district magistrate because to the young generation he is a symbol of success. To the elders he is a source of power. And to the needy he is a relief giver. People emulate him or her for this reason. I would strongly suggest now that this organization, which has rich faculty, deep commitment, must have material for every district magistrate. Some of the things which we are seeing are amazing. Public property being destroyed. We are insensitive to it. Vande Bharat being stoned. We are insensitive to it. Those who are guilty of this offense are not being visited with exemplary consequences, at least with expedition. We need to do that. Because after having noticed that achievements of the organization for last 1 year have been very commendable, they really signal a qualitative change. It is in the right direction. And therefore, my expectation from this organization is all the more. You are capable by intellect, by your experience. If I look around people, each of them is in a position to handle governance at the highest level. And therefore, if they were to catalyze a scenario, an ecosystem at the district level, things will dramatically change. I would therefore appreciate the Honorable Minister, who is enormously talented, very passionate about his work, missionary. I have seen his performance in Parliament. Very well prepared, thoroughly well prepared. So, sir, let us in togetherness, with the blessing of the faculty here, resolve today that we will sensitize every district magistrate. We will sensitize every district official, including SP, so that they become trendsetters. And they are the people on the ground to make big achievements. The greatest danger in our society is some wise people, intelligent people. They engage into activities which are not wholesome. They generate equity out of ignorance of larger people. Their name carries a lot of meaning to people that, yes, X has written this article. you analyze that article, you will find it is worthless. It is against law. It is factually untenable. But then the gentleman has chosen to capitalize on ignorance of the people at large. We have to neutralize. I don't want to get into political aspect of it. But in my position as chairman Rajya Sabha, I got large number of communications from legal fraternity all over that there is a distinguished member of parliament who had the occasion to be a senior minister for more than a decade and could write. And that article was carried in all the papers, vernacular also, that if bail is suspended, conviction is automatically suspended. This has to be neutralized by people here. We are facing challenges because our country is on the rise. Right from the time last I came here and this, look at what has happened. Something which may not happen in 50 years has happened in 3 months. August 23, 2023, we declared it Space Day. Chandrayaan 3 landed on that part of the moon where no country's vehicle has ever landed, South Pole. We did that. We got the distinction of having on moon Tiranga and Shakti Point, Shiv Shakti Point. Little ahead, we had a special session of parliament. New parliament building was inaugurated. In the face of COVID, in 2.5 years, a building did not come up. Much more than that. If you senior people will go to that building, you will be amazed the kind of technological employment which is there. The Honorable Minister has worked in overdrive for it. Even I was stunned. I have never seen, I have visited more than 40 countries of the globe. I was stopped by a category D employee. Sir, scan. He took my phone, scanned, and what was there before me. That has been done. Something which we could not achieve for our half of the population. Series of efforts were made repeatedly. They failed. No one goes into the background today why the efforts failed. Who were the people who failed those efforts? You have to engage into that exercise so that people come to know about it. But it could happen on 21st of September 2023 when Rajya Sabha, which I preside, passed it. Though symbolic, but I am ensured, and I must give credit to the Honorable Minister, he being one of them to suggest it to me. He may not remember it. He told me it will be a great idea that you have all the presiding officers other than you and the deputy chairperson as women. I went by his advice. We had 17 members of parliament on that day presiding over the house. That's something amazing. From P.T. Usha to Jaya Bachchan to Koinak to Seema Dwivedi, everyone was happy and joyous. Most of them were hesitant. But their experience was they are capable to fill the job permanently. A small incident, friends, happened. And a lady member was presiding over the house. The galleries, as the Honorable Minister would recollect, were full of people of female gender. Women from villages, girl students, they were there. Someone may have in euphoric moment used a word. There was uproar in the house. ये कैसे हो गया? गैलरी से कोई क्यों बोल गया? I did not want to disturb the lady. If I had occupied the seat then, she would have suffered a major jolt. That's, her capacity has been challenged. She overcame it very successfully. Then I went and said, I'll probe it. But probe what? Probe first what you are doing on the floor. You want exemplary performance by people who sit in gallery. You don't want them to move their hands. They have to show military kind of discipline. And in the house you weaponize disturbance and disruption. The solemn house is meant for dialogue, debate, discussion, deliberation. You get away from it. This is something which not only this organization has to do, but sensitize, enlighten our young impressionable minds. They are discerning minds. They will set narrative which will automatically neutralize nefarious narratives. That is my expectation from this body, and I am sure you will be able to do it. The country faces a great challenge because its rises as never before. Could we ever imagine, friends, that UK and France will be behind us in economy? In September 2022, we became the 5th largest global economy, leaving them behind. And then Japan and Germany are next. By 2030, we'll be ahead of them. We can contribute by making aware our people of one concept, and that concept is economic nationalism. You are the right body to examine. If we have with China a trade deficit of 100 billion and more, what does that comprise of? Diya, candles, kites, बच्चों के खिलौने, furniture, curtains, and more. In the process, we are doing two injustices. One, our precious foreign exchange is being drained out for inappropriate reasons. And secondly, we are depriving our own people to engage into entrepreneurship to do those things. If you start doing it, the Honorable Prime Minister very emphatically in his last Mann Ki Baat indicated, be vocal for local. Now these are the issues beyond government. The government is part of a global system. The government cannot decide certain policies which individuals have to do, like commitment to nationalism, commitment to economic nationalism. We all need to focus on that. And trust me, if you sensitize every district magistrate, and he in turn turns out to be extremely impactful, billions of dollars would not have to be drained outside. That is what is happening. I was part of governance at a junior level. My friend is at a much senior level, more involved, in 1989 to 91, when I was Member of Parliament Lok Sabha. Our foreign exchange, the people in the front row know it, was fluctuating between 1 billion and 2 billion. In physical form, the gold of this country had to be taken outside, to be placed to two banks, to sustain our fiscal reputation. Now it is more than 600 billion. But it will be in 3 digits if we have economic nationalism. I appeal to everyone, use social media. Reach out to industry, trade and business. And the Honorable Minister can himself, in his own position, involve the top industry outfits and generate a climate, number one. Second, why should our raw material leave our shores? Go to Paradip, iron ore, ship after ships going there. We must ensure an ecosystem where there must invariably be value addition to our raw material. We must get into that zone. If we do that, that will be another game changer in economy. Because in Amrit Kal we have to lay foundation, and the foundation is already being laid to ensure Bharat at 2047 will be a global leader in every sense of the term. And this contribution which I am suggesting has an individual component. You can do it, and I am sure it will be done. Tell the people, when you send your raw material outside, you are doing two things. One, we are not capable of adding value to it. Secondly, if we were to add value to it, the government will benefit out of taxation. People will get employment. Entrepreneurship will blossom. We have to focus on that. Why I am saying so? Under Prime Minister Modi, we have taken steps where the world is stunned. Quantum computing. The countries doing it are not in double digit, you know it, sir. We have taken lead in it. Ample funds have been earmarked for it. Hydrogen, the kind of investment which will come, the kind of employment potential it has. Our focus on 6G, we are in the front line of the countries doing it. When so much is happening and our young minds are fully assured of opportunities, and mind you, those of us who care for calibration from outside the country, I'll give you two calibrations. One, I am a president. India is the shining economy in the world today, a favorite destination of opportunity and investment. If I go to World Bank president, he says, in digital penetration, India has done in 6 years what is not achievable in 47 years. And they are saying so because there are facts and figures. Our digital transactions are 4 times that of USA, UK, France and Germany taken together. Did we ever imagine it? Look at the per capita data consumption of internet in our country. It is more than that of USA and China taken together. When you have that kind of rise, when a minister has rise in reputation, he will get enemies. They will work in overdrive. They will work more seriously than you will. That Dr. Jitendra is performing well, how best to impede him? कैसे टंगी लगाई जाए? So we have some amongst us who will go outside the country when the best is happening. Just imagine when we celebrate Deepavali, someone wants to mar it. What are they saying? Ignorance, unaware. Some people can pick up courage to go to the extent no human mind, no perverted human mind can go. कि पाकिस्तान की हालत हमसे बेटर है क्योंकि एक स्टडी करी, मतलब कितना लाफेबल, फार्सिकल ये काम सर आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को करना है. एंड क्यों करना है? द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज अ सिंबल ऑफ अचीवमेंट. मैंने देखा जिनको अवार्ड दिए, ईच ऑफ देम इज कमिटेड टू अ ग्रेट सोसाइटल कॉज. When I discussed with Mr. Pathak's son, Mr. Bindeshwar Pathak came to me. I was a junior minister. He was making a beginning. He was passionate about it. He had a mission. He plunged himself into that. He achieved. So all I can say, I don't want to take much time. I have enough to say. But मैंने indicate तो कर दिया है ना. My senior people will they have approved it by body language कि आपको जो कहना था सो आपने कह दिया है कि भाई आपको बहुत कुछ करना है. आपने किया वो कमाल का किया है, पर आपका परफॉर्मेंस तो बहुत आगे तक जाने का है with a dynamic leadership. Secondly, I disagree with the Honorable Minister 100%. क्योंकि हम दोनों को लोग कई बार एक ब्रैकेट में रखते हैं. We do nothing incidental. We do it deliberately. We do it with a purpose. And both of us have one thing also in common. Though he has been wearing white robe and I have been wearing black robe, we are accountable to our conscience. We don't take appreciation at all. We self-assess. I therefore have legitimate expectation from this platform that this institute, when we meet next time, will have impactful presence in every district of the country. And we will use technology to reach out to those district magistrates. We have vibrant villages we have aspirational districts, we have smart cities, we will be able to recognize them, and they will feel so gratified that when recognition takes place and people so senior who are sitting in the front line are there, they will get inspired, motivated. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. A great occasion for me. Thank you so much.